Dr. Vaishali, and I'm reading from the book Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. Natural classification of the drug, imponderabilia, and the proving of music. Chapter number 45, proving of music. The idea of using music as a healing agent is not now new. It is a universal accepted that music has healing power and most of us have experienced it. I felt that as music has healing qualities and it must be related to homeopathy. It must be based on the law of similar. I learned music myself, the North Indian Hindustani classical music, in which we have a system called ragas, a system of notes in the major and minor scale, which are sung or played in different combinations. Each combination is called a raga. Each raga is very specific and consists of specific notes, some in the major and some in the minor scale, sung or play in a particular way. Different pieces of music can compose in every raga. What I found remarkable was that each raga is known to have a specific time when it is to be played. It evokes special feeling and create a specific atmosphere. I learned this from my music teacher and other expert musician. The similarity between the raga system and homeopathy is striking. For in homeopathic materia medica too, each remedy is specific, has specific time modalities and evokes specific feeling. I wonder if ragas could be used as a remedial agent. To use raga as a remedies, we need to know the specific feeling evoked by that specific raga. There were two ways of finding this. One way was to ask a musician, but they had certain individual understanding, and the other was to use the Hahnemann's method. Example, the prove the raga, which I did with amazing results. I took a sarod string instrument player by Dr. Devdas Naik to one of my lecturer and made him play a particular raga, Rag Darbari, for about 10 minutes to an audience of about 200 people. All of us close our eyes and listen to that music and allow our feeling to surface. All the feeling and memories that came up while listening to the music were written down by the participant, and in order to taste the specific ragas, Mr. Naik played the sarod again to the same audience in the same room an hour later, maintaining the same style and meter, only changing the raga. The feelings were once again recorded, and the two proving were studied individually and compared with each other. The result was amazing. A large number of provers, about 60 to 70%, had a similar response to the particular raga, and the two ragas, despite being played under similar external situations or conditions, evoked entire different feeling in them. Thus, I concluded that each raga evokes specific feeling in the people which belongs to it alone. Music and culture are closely interlinked. I wanted to see if the effect of the raga was universal. In seminar in the Madras, I made a violinist play a raga Dhir Sankar Burnam to large audience, and they were asked to write down their feeling. The music performance was recorded on the video. I took this video cassette and played it to an audience of 200 in the London and later at San Francisco to 120 participants. As before, they were asked to write down their feeling, etc. The result of this triple proving of same raga in three continents taught me a lot, not only about music but about homeopathy. I learned firstly that ragas have a specific feeling associated with them, and these are the universal. My observation was that each raga evoked in the listener's specific memory and connected with this were specific feeling. With my original theme of situational materia medica, I expected that most prover would come out with one particular situation, but this did not happen. I found that the similarity was not in the situation but in the type of situation. The type was characteristic because of its depth, intensity, and desperation of the feeling involved in the situation and the action needed in it. An example from the proving will illustrate this. True poor of the Raga Darbari visualize a situation of the family sitting in a field in which the earth is dry, cracked, parched, and barren, and the vale are dry and withered, and the farmer is waiting and hoping for rain. Feeling cheated by nature, four other provers with the same raga visualize a scene where a woman is being abandoned by her husband. She falls at his feet, requests him not to leave, cries and moans. Many provers remember the death of their close relative, especially the father, and the sense of enormous loss associated with the event. Now, the specific situation called to mind in these various provers were very different. Yet, there is a similarity in that all the situations are desperate, hopeless situation. We were later told by the musicians that this raga, means Darbari, was composed by the Tansan at the request of Emperor Akbar, who wanted a raga to alleviate the feeling of tremendous responsibility he faced and despair it brought about in him at the end of the day. This raga has a tremendous depth, great responsibility, and hopeless feeling which comes very close to Aurum Metallicum. One can easily imagine that the emperor had to shoulder tremendous responsibility and was in a state of Aurum Metallicum, which the music relieves. The other raga that was proved on the same audience walk was Rag Bhairavi. Had a similar situation. It has a feeling of separation from the loved one or making effort at work, but the feeling is not anywhere near the desperation of Rag Darbari. The feeling is lighter and that of the romance and separation, of attachment and detachment. For instance, in a prover of Rag Darbari, there were a feeling as if someone is dead in the family. The environment is that of the mourning, but this goes on for some days and then some happiness come into the family. Several prover of the raga experience the feeling of separation from their loved one, but the separation was never final and total as in the Rag Darbari. Each raga has a particular depth and intensity in its situation, and when it is played, people recall the memory of situation in their lives that had the same depth and intensity of the feeling. It is interesting to note that here that while almost all the provers reacted to Rag Bhairavi, only a limited number recalled a specific event in their lives while listening to the Rag Darbari. I believe this is because the intensity of Rag Darbari is such that few people have experienced such a situation in their lives. This helped me to understand that the remedy Aurum Metallicum, which has a similar desperate, hopeless situation with the need for intense effort and feeling of having failed and being abandoned, can have two different situations. That of a person who has failed high responsibility. So rubric is delusion, has neglected his duty, feels he has seen away his day of grace, and also suicidal from the disappointment in the love. It doesn't matter what situation is, if the situation is associated with a particular depth and intensity of feeling, it comes under the specific remedy or raga. This greatly broadened my understanding of the materia medica, for I could now see the situational materia medica of each remedy was not a specific situation but a specific type of situation. At the same time, I show that in the proving may provers did mention some specific common situation. In Rag Bhairavi, for example, there was a common theme of separation or quarrels with the loved one, especially in the man-woman relationship. Some reflection will help us to understand this phenomena, for it is also seen in homeopathy. For example, Natrum muriaticum has a disappointment in love and the bitter sweet memory associated with it. Natrum muriaticum is the closest to Rag Bhairavi, as I understand it, just as Aurum Metallicum is to Rag Darbari Kanra. The reason why specific situations are brought to mind by specific raga or remedy is probably because particular situations in human civilizations are associated with a particular depth and type of feeling of desperation and hopelessness is connected with very highly responsibility which one cannot fulfill. The feeling of alternating hope and despair as in Rag Bhairavi is usually found in love relationship, We can now understand why the specific theme were recalled by the prover. Another important observation was made after studying the proving in different culture. I had played Raga Dhir Sankar Bharnam in Madras, London, and San Francisco. This raga means which seems to correspond to the pulsatilla, brought out feeling connected with the warmth and losing of a warmth. In the Indian proving, the feeling of warmth and love came up strongly, while in a Western audience, the feeling of sadness and aloneness came up. And from this, understand that each raga or the remedy brings up memories which are positive or negative depending on the experience that person had had in her life, in their life, connected with the theme of a raga or the remedy. I shall now give some expert from the proving from which I have drawn my conclusion. Space does not permit inclusion of all the proving data, and I wish to only get the concept across here. Music proving in the Bombay. The effect of two different raga on the same prover. Prover NK has while listening on raga proving raga Bhairavi, feelings were sadness, depressed person. There was a knot as if there was some past recollection of some memories. Someone was trying to recall a knot which was very sad, as if some tragedy has stuck. In the end, there was a happiness and joy. While in same prover on Raga Darbari Kanra, feeling was sad. A woman who is grief-stricken, helpless, crying out for help, feeling as though someone is caught in a violent storm, trying to come out but is drowning more and more inside. And now the prover HS has a feeling for Bhairavi is feeling as if someone is dead in the family. Environment around is that of a mourning. This goes on for some days, and then after some days some type of happiness comes in the family but lasts for a very short period of time, and there occur a sad event in the house, and there is a depression. While same person HS prove on Darbari has feeling like poverty in the house, wants to work hard, goes out to find a job but get no job anywhere, and disappointment, helpless feeling, and how the family member will live, feels can do nothing for them when there is a hopeless situation. Another prover JP has a feeling of after Rag Bhairavi. I felt an experience of being left alone and sitting in a big room with the light off, kind of drowning my sorrow into my own self, as though no soul left me some light to live. It was a feeling as if all the members of my family had to leave for outstation for good, or that my daughter got married and had taken a bidai, means separation, to go to her in-laws. The family comprising only of me and daughter, and as if the light of my life had gone, no reason for whom to live or on. As same prover has feeling after Darbari is I was getting a feeling as if I had committed some wrong and was feeling very guilty about it, and I could make an attempt to overcome the guilt feeling by overcoming the wrong thought or the wrongdoing. Felt also trembling of hand as a feeling of guilt. Next prover CS has feeling after Bhairavi. I am always told that I am a self-possessed individual. Today when I came to the hall, my friend noticed that I was thoroughly disturbed, which usually they do not, or I don't show it. And now I again have struck this balance, and I again feel like a strong rock. Same prover feeling after Darbari was brought the memory of the concluding scene of the movie Guide. The earth is dry, cracked, and hard barren. The well are dry and withered, but patiently waiting and hoping and praying for the rain, and as if cheated by the nature, a few raindrops fall on the barren earth, but it was just one cloud. So very less hope in this narration. Next prover is AD. Prover AD has a feeling after Bhairavi is feeling of tranquility, peace slowly crept in picture of the Mirabai, beloved, like requesting him Krishna, as if excitement is melting away into a sea of calmness, pleasant feeling. While same prover AD has a feeling after Darbari was sadness, unhappy feeling as if woman is being abandoned by her husband. She requests him, fall at his feet, don't go away. She cries, moans as she tries to make him realize her love for him. In this first music proving, I can be clearly seen that two ragas proves on the same prover produce entirely different feeling specific to that of raga.